see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 902 of the Lost Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's August 24th, 2026. This morning, I'm enjoying a fresh cup of medium light Ethiopian from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean stream air roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10. That's LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club for even more awesome perks and that second month free discount. And that is always nice. Today, we've got another busy show, more clearing and log moving around the solar field, another chapter in the never-ending saga of the cabin floor bubbles, and a new way forward that we've decided on. Why maybe having no expectations is a better way to go through life, and why I'm starting to wonder if Nostr might be the place for me. So grab that coffee, smash the like button, and let's get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Free Wilder Life. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that. Nice weather up there, I see, over in the Telegram group. And Mike's Homestead, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. I need to send another message over here. Oh, man. One of those days, guys. Facebook. Gotta love Facebook. I'm sending another message, so if you get it in the YouTube feed, I apologize, but Facebook decides now that if I send a message before the live starts, it doesn't go through. That's new as of this week. You used to be able to just hit go at any point once the live was created, and it would post the comment. So I'm getting fed up with Facebook a little bit, and more and more and more every day. I'll talk about that in a little while. Discuss about the last 30 days on Nostr. But anyway, let's start out. Free Wilder Life says Mondays. Yeah, every days. Every days at this point. It's been one of them days for a while. Drinking this medium light Ethiopian today, and about the last week, finished off the bag. I think I might have one cup left. It might end up in the Bob. I emptied the Bob last week. If you don't know what the Bob is, it's the bottom of the bag blend that I make when I get down towards the end of each bag. I dump the remainder in a little glass jar up in the cupboard, and when that gets full enough to make a couple of aero presses, I grind that up and get a special blend. Drank that last Monday, and then tore into a bag of medium light Ethiopian. I normally get light Ethiopian from Food Forest Farms. He usually sends me out some light. Had in my last order, so I just got a new order this past week, but the order before that, there was a bunch of more medium and light blends. And this medium light Ethiopian was in there, and it's interesting. I don't know if he's going to ever convert me to more of a medium to dark guy. I don't think that. I don't know if that can really happen. I really have always enjoyed light roast coffee more than anything, but this medium light Ethiopian does change it up a little bit. I'm kind of liking it. So always trying new things. That's Kori tells me I need to try new things, and I'm trying new coffee here, and it's good. It's good. It was worth it. So it's been an interesting bag, and I don't even know what's next. I got one bag left from the previous order, and then I haven't even opened my package this month. It actually looks like the package got dumped in the mud in transit. I don't know. Maybe it was that way when it left Food Forest Farms. I doubt that, but yeah, it looks like it got dropped in the mud and dried all over the package. So it's just sitting out here waiting to get open and put up in the cupboard, and we'll see what surprises await from this month's C4 order. Let's get to that Bitcoin guessing game. Bitcoin Bitcoin. Anybody watch Bitcoin this last week? Holy buckets. We'll talk a little bit about that, but let's get that guessing game done. First, Bitcoin price at 607 on August 24th, 2026. 607 August 24th, 2026. The price is $77,616. $77,616. Let's look at these guesses we got in the group. Wilderlife wants to know if she can guess now. I don't know. We had that conversation over in the Telegram group. If people wanted to start guessing at 5:45 in the morning on Monday, and I said you could do whatever you want. You gotta live with your decisions. If you think you need to win that bad, you can put your guess in whenever you want. But most people guess on Monday or Tuesday of the previous week. So. Let's look at these guesses. Canadian Farmstead in with a guess of 63,800. Yeah, 63,000. What did I say the price was? 77,000. Canadian Farmstead. Thecia, the Oracle, she was in with the guess of 64,100. Pip with the guess of $64,280.77. Palm Tree in with the guess of 64,750. John Palmer, $65,432.10. Blueberry, Texas, 65,444. Man, scrambling, 66,660. Guys, I'm gonna win. I actually won. I got my guess up there. Been up there for months and months, and it's still gonna stay up there because we never reached it yet. But my guess of 84,321 ends up being the winner this week. Bitcoin up 23%, right around 23% from last Monday morning in 1 week. Bitcoin jumps 23%. And here I am with my outrageous guess on the board, ends up winning the guessing game for the week. Guys, I guess you got to have a crystal ball to go ahead and guess that. Good morning, Martinson family. Thanks for stopping in. But anyway, yeah, Bitcoin up just a monster 23% this week, and it's holding. It's holding for a while. We'll see how long it holds. I don't think we're out of the bear run yet. I think we haven't hit the bulls. But I guess last week there was the U.S. Treasury expanded its purchasing of longer dated Treasury bonds, so weakening the Treasury bond market, and there was a hard asset swap into Bitcoin and gold. And when the pop happened, it basically started a chain reaction of people had leveraged shorts, playing the short market with huge leverage, and it basically liquidated billions of dollars. Let me see. Estimated $2.7 billion in shorts were liquidated, which fueled the pump, and it pumped it up. But with what would that be? Optimistic outlook on the U.S. government's Clarity Act and a little bit of renewed support of ETF buying. It kind of held. Even after the short pump kind of faded off, and it got stable, and been sitting there around that 77,000 for quite a bit. I think it's been a few days now, so I don't know. It might stick around. I don't think we've seen the bottom yet. I think Canadian Farmstead has been talking over in the group. He says he's talking out of his ass. I think he's kind of spot on as we're looking at about November before a real bull run. And but you never know. You never know with all the ETF stuff and different pressure on Bitcoin from different directions. It might pop early. I mean, it'd be great if it did. Let me tell you. But right now, sitting around $77,480. So if you want to go ahead and make a guess for the next week's Bitcoin guessing game, you can head on over to the Telegram group at t.me/lotschat. That's t patreon.me/lots chat. It'll be a pinned post later today when I get all the show processed and everything. We'll put up the guests for next week. I'm sticking with mine. I've said that's staying up there until the price actually hits it. 84,321, even though I was the winner this week. Closest. I was the closest. That's like being the smartest kid in the special ed class this week. But anyway, I'm keeping my guess 84,321 until the price breaches that, and then we'll start guessing again. So if you want to make your guess, head on over to the Telegram chat. It will be up later today, hopefully you join us and have fun over there in the Telegram chat. We have a good time hanging out and bullshitting about all sorts of different stuff, and great group of people. I enjoy it over there. Talk a little bit later about Nostr and the different social medias I'm using and how I've been interacting. And I mean, really, Telegram is one of the things that I kind of pick up more often than not. So it's a good little group we got going on. So anyway, let's move on to cabin update this week. Got a lot of different things going right now. Solar field, the first thing we'll talk about is more clearing there. I think last week I had gotten the brush cleared up. I think I got brush cleared up and was moving on to the trunks of the trees that I had dropped to the second round of trees. So this is on and on and on. Same thing. It's like Groundhog Day for me out at the property when I go out during the week by myself. It's just clearing brush, cutting up trees, moving trees, cutting down trees, cutting up trees, cutting up brush, cutting up trees, moving trees. It's on and on and on, over and over. Weather cooperated a little bit this week. Early in the week, I had a day, I think it was one day, that the humidity dropped off. The temperatures were still in the 90s, but the humidity was a fraction of what it has been, and I was able to knock out quite a bit. Actually got done, and when I looked at the temperature in the truck, I was like, wow, I didn't realize it was that hot. It was just refreshing to not have that humidity stuck back in. Had a couple days of a little harder work. I guess harder would be the less productive work, and then I ended up staying home one day. We did have rolling thunderstorms going through, and stayed home and worked on some computer stuff. So just picking away at that solar field during the week. And then when Kori and I go out together, we're working more on the cabin itself. But it's all got to be in unison. One of the things we need to move out there and start staying there, not even moving out permanently, but just staying out there for any length of time, is electricity. And that would entail either running the generator all the time or having the solar field cleared, solar panels installed, and solar equipment. So it has to be done. Getting there close. This week it will probably I'll be able to get the rest of the logs cleared. A lot of them I think I'm just gonna have to roll out of the way and split them on where they're at. I went to pick one up and just test to see if I could move it, and it will be a large struggle to move these the bases of the trunks. So I think I'm going to end up just rolling them a little out of the way for where I'm going to drop the next trees, and they'll just get split in place and then moved as smaller split pieces. So I think that's the plan with that. But all the other smaller pieces are getting moved out of the way, and I have about, I think, a dozen more trees to drop. I think I'll be able to get a good maybe 6 to 10 somewhere in there in the next round. And then I have some large trees that I'm still trying to figure out what the best course of action with them is going to be. They're kind of in some sketchy spots. And then got a message out to our dirt guy to have him come out and see about a couple projects. I want to get the solar field kind of graded, not to grade it off, but just smoothed out a little bit. been picturing when I'm out there, like when it's been so humid, I'll sit down and try to cool off a little bit. And I'm just picturing what I want in the end, kind of in the solar field, because I've cleared a lot extra besides where the panels have to go. Obviously for shading, I've had to clear the trees, but in having to clear the trees, I've had to clear the brush. And so I have this very large area on a south-facing slope. And I figured out the other day that the natural slope on the hill is about 12%, generally right around where I'm going to put the panels. I figured that out because I'm going to be having to figure out what pitch I want the panels at. And so I was sitting looking at the whole site and kind of did some math with ChatGPT, figuring out how tall the panels will be off the ground using that natural slope and then the added slope of the panels. And I was just kind of picturing what I want long term on the hill, both above and below the solar panels. And one of the things is our bedroom/office windows kind of face that direction on the cabin, and so we don't really want to be staring at the back of solar panels as our view. We didn't move out in the middle of the woods to look at solar panels, so I'm trying to situate the panels far enough down the hill that man, probably just be able to see a little bit of the backs of the tops, using that slope and kind of, I think my calculations were the backs of the panels are barely going to be 5 feet off the ground, if I install them. I got a couple different ways I want to install them. The one way where they'd be the highest off the ground would be only about 5 feet, and so if I put that down the hill, it starts to get them out of view, like just seeing the top rim. And then plans would be, since that's the south-facing slope, and I can plant a little taller stuff above it without shading on the north side of the panels. Sun comes from the south and in the southern sky. And so I was thinking I want to kind of do a food forest system and also some perennials, likely for propagation and hopefully for sale, doing a kind of a swale system down the hill, and capture the rain off the solar panels, capture the rain running down the hill, and do kind of lower growing plants, dwarf trees and things, and bushes and things like that really get pruned hard, and use them more for propagation, put them out in front of the panels, and then some smaller trees behind it kind of block that view. Haven't really decided on species yet, but we'll see. But looking into that, as I was thinking about that and expanding the comfrey business and whatnot, I started looking into Tennessee nursery laws, and it was interesting because the plan, the long-term plan on the property was kind of to go and do a lot of perennial propagation and sales, and also do seed harvesting and use the native plants on the property to propagate those and to harvest those and to sell those. And as I was looking into the Tennessee laws, I was like, holy shit, I hit the trifecta there. In Tennessee, you need a nursery license to sell plants, and they charge by the size of your nursery. You need a seed harvesters and distribution license to harvest seeds and sell seeds. And you need a native plant harvester license to harvest native and wild plants and sell those. So hit the trifecta there, hit it right out of the park to have to deal with the government. Huh, great. So that was interesting to find that all out. But even if it is for personal use, definitely want to make productive use out of all this area that I've been clearing around the panels. So that should be a fun project. It'll be a fun project, and it'll be a lot of area, and I think it'll work out really nice. And since I'll have to maintain it anyway, might as well maintain it with something that's productive. So anyway, that's kind of the solar field update, cabin update, actual cabin update. So if you've been following along, you know we laid down our sheet vinyl floor. I made a big fucking mistake when we were doing it, and we ended up with some bubbles in one area of the floor. Happens to be basically the living room, and just a little bit into my bedroom office, and then the rest of the floor looks great. The kitchen area, bathroom area, Kori's room, it all looks fantastic, and just several wrinkles and bubbles in the main room, basically the piece we did first. So we've been trying various methods. I've been looking up various methods of fixing these. The one thing that was kind of working, the first round worked, basically taking a syringe that I'm going to sneeze, I think. Hold on. Taking a syringe, large gauge needle syringe that we used for our dog, draining some hygromas he had, but using that and injecting the floor adhesive into the bubble and kind of spreading it around and then rolling the bubble down, because we can roll these down flat and then they just pop back up. So the theory was, get the glue under there, let it get tacky, and then roll the piece, and then we have been laying boards on top of them with weight on the boards, and letting them sit for a few days. First round worked pretty well. You can still see them. We were looking at it this week and discussing. You can see it. Obviously, there's more glue, so there's 2 layers of glue. So it's not sitting flat with the rest of the floor. But at least the bubbles are staying down. A couple of the ones that we did second round worked. A couple didn't. We're not really sure why the difference, but Kori went ahead and redid some of the second round and started a few of the other ones. And then we just had we had a discussion about like what the plan is here. If this injecting the glue into the bubbles doesn't work, we did an experiment with putting some bigger wrinkles with a scrap piece on another piece of wood, and we experimented with kind of slicing the bubble and laying it down over itself and then slicing it again. And we just did a quick test. I mean, we didn't really take our time, didn't use a straight edge, just seeing if it would actually fold over on itself. And I think it might, but the thing is, if it doesn't and it's fucked up, it's there. You get one shot at it when it's already installed on the floor. And so we've kind of gone back and forth about that. I think we're gonna try. I think we'll be able to get all the small bubbles to glue down, and then we have a couple really long ones, and we're gonna do our best to get them down. But we talked about it, and I think we're just gonna go with an area rug in the living room. We talked about the fact that it'll cover up the mistakes that we made. We also talked about the fact that it'll probably be nice in the colder weather to have an area in the house, in the cabin that has some rug on the floor. The dogs will probably appreciate laying on it at some points, having a softer place to lay down, maybe being able to avoid having so many dog beds in the cabin. And then really we started yesterday taping out the walls and the appliances and the cabinets and things on the ground, kind of doing mock-up. And we realized that if we put a rug in this area, it basically, since it's going to be one big open room, We'll have the bathrooms enclosed, and one end of the cabin is enclosed. It's a couple of bedrooms, but the rest, the kitchen and the living room, is kind of one big open room. And this area rug will serve as kind of a visual to break it up. Like, this is the living room. Like, you'll walk in, and the entry in the kitchen will be vinyl. And then the living room, where there'll be a couch and a couple chairs or a love seat, will be kind of distinguished by an area rug. And so we kind of talked about it. We both kind of settled on the idea that we're done with the floor. we're done messing around with it. We're done stressing about it, and we're just going to get it as best we can, and then throw down some sort of area rug in that area and make it work basically. So I also mentioned there that we started mocking up the kitchen. We're still working kind of over by the bedroom, so we didn't do the bedroom side, but we did mock up the walls for enclosing the bathroom. We looked up the specs on the appliances that we're going to have and shower and things like that, and we used painter's tape on the floor and kind of marked everything out and did a bunch of walkthroughs, made sure that the flow through the rooms was good, that things were going to fit, that they weren't too jammed in. We've been living in this camper for so long that we want some room, and it was funny. We were walking around and kind of like looking at door swings and where things were placed, and Kori looks over at me and I look at her, and we have like our elbows out. We're like puffing ourselves way up and kind of turning big wide radiuses, and we both laughed, and we're like, we're really making ourselves really big to make sure we got room. We don't want to be scooting by things and squeezing in places like we've had to do in the camper. And then all of a sudden we both had our wingspans out. We had our arms out doing like twisty turns all over the floor, and and making sure we weren't going to be hitting anything. So definitely have gotten to the point where we're done squeezing in and being confined in the camper, and making sure that we have plenty of moving room in our floor layout. But everything worked out good. We actually made a little bit of an adjustment to get a little extra counter space. Rewild Life says that's awesome. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of fun. And we kind of made a little adjustment to the floor plan, nothing major. Did end up deciding, I think, where our main electrical panel had been going back and forth, and I think finally settled on where it's going to go. It's an interesting decision with how we're going to have to run the wire, just because of the construction and how things are. I don't really particularly want to, and I don't think I actually could. I could figure it out. It wouldn't be fun at all. But I can't run wire through the posts. So I'm having to do I think I'm going to do a combination of going up and there's a couple of channels, natural channels in the construction where I think I can run a lot of the wire up above and drop it down into the wall cavities in between the posts. Some of it's going to end up going down through the floor and running in conduit or armor coat or armor clad panel or wire underneath, and then come back up into different spots in the cabin. But it's not going to be like the natural normal wiring job that you'd have in a normal house, normal stick built construction. So I've been contemplating a couple different places where I wanted to put the main panel, and yesterday just really thought through the different processes and where the wires had to go, where they're going to originate from, and kind of made a decision and ended up moving it actually after thinking it through, just standing there and walking around and physically going through the process of running the wire and where it actually had to go. Ended up moving it, and so that's that's in the works. Next thing we're going to be doing is building the walls, getting the walls put up. We're going to continue on getting that floor as good as we can, get our walls put up, and then start wiring the cabin. And that's kind of the next few phases that we got going on inside. So lots of progress, lots of things to do. Still the list is a mile long, but making a little progress every day that we can, while we take care of other stuff. So that is a cabin update for the week. New solar series, new YouTube series is going well. I'm really enjoying making the videos. They seem to be performing decent over there, better than some of the others. This week's solar video, well, I guess start from the beginning. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard about it, the first video, I did like 3 videos on clearing, how I picked my spot, the process I was using for clearing, and the tools I was using for clearing. That was kind of a warm up to do this new style video. And then the real series started 2 videos ago. I did a basics of basically electrical basics for people that are getting started, trying to figure out solar, trying to figure out how to do it themselves, or maybe learn about it enough to design something and have somebody else do it, or at least know what they're dealing with if they're getting into doing solar. So I really wanted to go and do it on a basic level. So started with started right at the beginning with volts and amps and watts and watt hours, and kind of went through and explained all that. Been targeting like 10 to 12 to maybe this last video was 14 minutes. So like 10 to 15 minutes. And this past video, this one that came out the end of last week, was on reading the labels on the back of solar panels. So they have specs and different abbreviations and different numbers on the back of solar panel labels. And so I kind of went through, I had 4 panels at the site. And I went through them and explained what each number was and why it's important and why you need to know it and what you're going to use it for. And so that was good. That was a fun video to make. And so that one's doing well. If you want to check that out, that's at the YouTube channel. If you know somebody that'd be interested in that type of thing, definitely share it with them. I'm trying to make this series kind of do well. And grow the YouTube channel and get away from doing the short Amazon review videos. I really, anything that's not relevant to the build of the cabin or our goals out there are only going to go on Amazon, and the YouTube channel is kind of designated now for our systems there. Right now, working a lot on the solar. We're going to be talking about that, and then also as I do our rain catch and different projects out there, we'll be documenting that. But right now, the series and I have like 30. I think I have 30 topics right now on the list, and have them kind of laid out, walking through the whole process of what it all means, designing the system, implementing all the information that we talk about at the beginning. It's going to be an ongoing series. And yeah, I think I got 30 to 40 different topics right now. So lots to do, coming out once a week. Reliably Life says tours are huge on YouTube if you're comfortable. Yeah, that's the catch-22. I'll be doing design tours. I'll be doing like our utility shed, which will house both the solar components and the water, basically the water filtration and pumping components of the rain catch. I'll be doing tours of that. I'll be doing tours and doing install videos on our solar system. So it'll be some of the actual what's going on, but the video series is really focused on helping people that want to do it themselves more than what we're doing, but using what we're doing as an example. So it's a tough mix. It's a tough mix. So we'll I keep that in mind. Every video I do is having that balance of yeah. Rachel says they are comfortable. Yeah, it's a tough balance, but I'm enjoying doing the new videos. I enjoy explaining things to people. I've gotten feedback from several people that are liking the kind of the real world example and giving me feedback that I'm doing a good job explaining stuff that I don't want to say they're difficult concepts, but explaining them in a way that you can understand it a little easier. So that's good. That's the goal. So, and next video, this one I'm recording this week. It's going towards explaining series versus parallel. Using the information that I've done in the first two videos, we're going to move into talking about the different ways you can wire solar panels. Obviously in series or parallel or series parallel, and why you would choose each of those, and what the benefits and the drawbacks are. So that video coming up this week, and then we're going to be moving into testing all the panels that we got. It was a shit show. I talked about it on here. The transporting them. They've been sitting out at the property. One stack had a tree fall on them. So basically, at this point, I need to take every single panel, test it, see how it's doing, and put it in a good, bad, or in between pile, and see what I have actually before finalizing the system design. So in preparation for that, I was actually talking to Palm Tree, guy over in the Telegram chat. I was talking to him about it, and we just had this little discussion, and he's like, hey, do you should make some multimeter probes. My camera is all like blurry. If you want to see my beautiful face, it's going to be all blurry. He said you should make some multimeter probes with MC4 connectors. If you've done anything with solar panels, and you know the connectors that are on the ends of the leads that come out of the back of solar panels, one of the main types is called MC4. That's kind of turned into a generic term for the type of connectors. I believe originally that was one company that made the connectors, and they kind of turned into, like Kleenex or vice grips, things like that, where the item itself takes on the name of the most popular brand. But basically, they're connectors that lock together. And he's like, you should make you can take your multimeter probes to test the panels and stick them in the connectors, but basically you need like 4 hands. And he's like, if you could make up some probes that had those connectors, a male and a female, and just kind of slide them in and make them quick connect and cut the latches off them. And I was like, got me thinking. and we were kind of discussing how we would do it. And I was like, well, shit, I should just look on Amazon and see if this is a really good idea. Somebody must have done this already. Basically pulled up on Amazon. They were like $10. I was like, can't even build them for that. So I ordered up a pair. They came in. I still have to modify them. I'm gonna cut the latches off them so that I'm not having to latch and unlatch them every time each panel. I'm just gonna cut the clips off them, and then where the clips latch on the other one, the male and the female. So basically they'll slide in, and I can use it and then just pull it right off and move on to the next panel. But while I was looking at those probes, I picked up a new set of probes for my meter. My Klein, I've had the same Klein multimeter. I think I got it before I was a petroleum service tech. I think I got it when I was working at as a maintenance guy at the foundry. So that would have been the job previous to the fuel tech. I picked up a Klein multimeter, and so that's been well over a decade I've had it, and absolutely love it. But when I was doing the fuel tech thing, I accidentally shorted the main panel in a gas station. Really shady, really shady wiring and the panel and the way everything was. It was a mom and pop gas station, and I pushed on one of the breakers and it wasn't set, and it wasn't. I don't want to say set. It wasn't clicked in, and my probe slipped and it arced and it basically melted the side of the probe. And I've just been using it that way since then. It still reads. It reads accurate enough for what I'm doing. But I was like, I'm going to be doing a lot of electrical work here, a lot of troubleshooting. Probably, I have a feeling as I put the things together, a lot of testing and diagnosing and verifying that things are done right. And man, I spent like $20, an extra $20 on a new set of probes, and it came with a bunch of fantastic attachments that I think will really come in handy for the project. So sometimes you look at your stuff and it just isn't good enough anymore. So I picked that up. So I was excited about that. But thanks to Palm Tree, I got those MC4 connector leads, and that'll make life a lot easier as I'm testing all these panels to see what's good and what's bad. And a nice little affiliate mention in the videos that I'm going to be making. So that is good. Let's see what else is on the list. Bitcoin up 78,000 even. Woohoo! I can see it. I can see it in the video behind me, and I saw it go to a bunch of zeros, and 78 sticking around. I think the fuel, the burner fuel from the shorts is gone. So it's nice that it's kind of holding steady after it popped up, like we talked about earlier in the show. Let's see. Nostr. So I jumped back on Nostr. It's been about a month now. I think yesterday was 31 days. I kind of committed to at least posting every morning, at least kind of working on my feed, curating who I follow and what I see over there, exploring some of the other apps and functionality of Nostr at least once a day. And that was, I think yesterday was day 31. So today will be day 32. And it's going well. I'm enjoying it. I started to curate my feed. So one of the things that I was happy about is right after I went over there and started using it again, the cold card hardware wallet fiasco went down. I don't think I would have heard about that as quickly, if much at all, if I hadn't been there. I didn't see it posted on the other social media networks I'm on. I did eventually get emails from CoinKite because I'm on their email list. I did get messaging from Blockstream regarding it and what they were doing to help people that were kind of caught up in the mess. But if I hadn't have been on Nostr, it wouldn't have been as prominent. I would have probably not realized how big of a deal it was. So I was thankful for that. In the Bitcoin space, I guess you need to interact with things that are Bitcoin centric, Bitcoin oriented. So I've kept a lot of Bitcoin news in my feed. I have kind of muted or pushed off to the side a lot of the Bitcoin. I don't want to call it Bitcoin bickering, but there's some stuff going on that I really just don't give a shit about, and people arguing about it and things like that. And so I kind of muted a lot of that and focused on discovering people that were actually doing things. some homesteading people, some off-grid people, some artists, some photographers, some developers, even programmers in the Bitcoin space, but actually doing things and not just sitting around stroking themselves and arguing about nothing. So that's the really nice part about Nostr is you control what you see. There isn't a feed of things being pumped in for you to see that you didn't choose to. And that's one of my biggest things that I'm having against Facebook right now. And really Facebook and Nostr are what I've kind of come down to be using. And I keep trying to use Facebook less and less. And the biggest thing is that they don't show me what I've chosen to see, or they do, but very intermittently. The majority of what's in my feed are things that I haven't followed. They always, you can tell because when you scroll through, it'll say follow as you haven't followed. Or see more of this, see less of this. I've already chosen what I want to see. I went to my groups and pages that I've followed and groups I've joined. I went to that list and started looking, and the list is fantastic. It's a curated list of everything from DIY solar to plants, plant pages and tree pages and homesteading pages and groups. And I want to see those discussions. I want to see the posts on those pages, and I chose to see them. Wilder Life says people get things done. Yeah. And so I chose to see those, and it's just a very, very small bit of what Facebook shows me. And the other thing that's really irritating is, of the things that they are putting in front of me, if I happen to be interested in reading one post or watching one little video, all of a sudden that's all I see. And that's kind of frustrating because I don't know if polymath is the right word. Probably. I'm interested in a lot of different shit. But I'm also curious about things that I don't want to see anymore. But for some reason, if I click on a video or read an article or something, that's all I'll see for the next God knows how long, until I read something else, dig in and find something else. It's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger saga that we had a couple of years ago. I don't, if you were around then, for some reason Facebook was showing me Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff from like the 70s, 80s, constantly showing me weightlifting things from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm like, I don't understand. I didn't watch a movie with him in it. I didn't read an article about him. Now I'll probably see it again because I'm sure my phone's listening to me about this, or I'll post this. Or this is actually going live on Facebook. But yeah, I don't know what the deal with that was, but it happened for a month or so, and then it stopped for a while, and then it happened again, and so I don't know what the deal with that is. But man, it's just it's infuriating to use it, and I think I need to stop making myself mad. I think I need to go someplace where I see what I want, what I choose to see, and use Facebook for what it's good for. But at this point, it's really getting to a point where it isn't good for much. I was looking at my stats on my Lots Project page, and I got 2,500 followers or people that follow the page, and I'll post something about the show or about the videos that I'm making, and I'll get like 40 people see it. So what's the point? what's the point of using it? What's the point of building and getting people to follow you on a platform when they don't see what you post anyway? So I think I'm just spinning wheels. The big thing is marketplace. That's the sticker for me for sure. I think if marketplace wasn't there, I really do enjoy looking at marketplace. Kori enjoys on the weekend mornings when we have our coffee and tea. She browses marketplace for a lot of things, and I think if that wasn't there, it would be a way easier call. But we'll see. We'll see. It is what it is. It is what it is. But Nostr's going well, and I like I said, I get more interaction there. The platform is just a fraction of the size, a very very small fraction of the size of Facebook, and the interaction, the quality interaction, the consistent interaction that I get over there is just it's way more than I get on any other social platform. And then you add in the fact that people can tip you in Bitcoin, and that's always a nice benefit too. So yeah, that's a Nostr discussion for you. I think over the 30 days, I have definitely started using it more. I intended to do at least once a day in the morning. And I've definitely gravitated towards opening that app before I open anything else. So if you want help getting started, or if you want to use it, or if you are over there, reach out and say hi. I'd love to have you in my feed. And if you are, like I said, if you're looking to get started or curious about it, I can help you do that. And Kori just fired up a profile over there for the dogs, and we're going to mess around with that a little bit. And she's going to cross post over there. So kind of just went through the process of getting her set up, and I can give you the easy button on how to use it, how to check it out, and see what you think. So there is that. And the last thing on the list, I got a few minutes here. Kori and I, we go out to, we try not to go out much. Try not to go out in public much. But we go to Walmart once a week for groceries and supplies and things like that. And this week we went to Lowe's. And just being out in the general population, it gets frustrating, I guess, is one way to put it. I think Rewilder's life says she's sick of Facebook, but it came out as I'm in IAC of Facebook. I'm guessing she's sick of Facebook. But anyway, going out into public, going to Walmart, going to Lowe's, I've really, I'm disappointed in society, the way people act, the way people interact with each other, the way they're oblivious to the world around them, how they're not considerate of other people. And I don't know if it's, I don't know what caused it. I try to think that it's generational, but I see people of all ages just being rude and inconsiderate of others. And so that frustrates me. But Kori and I were talking, and I keep remembering a quote, and I don't remember who said it, and so I looked it up. It had something to do with if you don't have any expectations of people, that you'll be a lot happier. Nobody's going to disappoint you if you don't have expectations for them. And when I looked it up, it's attributed all across the board. There's been very many different people that have said it in different ways. What is that, like a Christmas song? But it really goes back to Stoicism and Epictetus and what he taught about what's in your control and what's not. And that other people's behaviors, opinions, and choices aren't really in your control. So they shouldn't affect how you live your life and your happiness. And so it's been taken from that and throughout the years has been twisted and turned and changed. Alexander Pope said, blessed is he who expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. And then all the different versions up into, if you don't have any expectations of people, you'll be a lot happier because no one can disappoint you. And so I've really tried to start when I go and have to interact with people, not expecting anything of them. It's, I guess the fact that I haven't been disappointed is nice, but it's still frustrating to see. We usually go to Walmart on Sunday morning, and insider tip, if you live in the Bible Belt and you go to Walmart on Sunday morning, it's pretty much empty and it's fantastic time to go. This week we went on Saturday morning, like mid-morning, pushing noon, and it was a fucking circus. And not having expectations of people was probably the way to go. And seeing the way people were acting in Walmart and just, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. I just want to shake people and be like, what is wrong with you? Just no regard for anybody else, in their own world, stuck in their own world. And I don't know if they don't know better. I don't know if they just don't care. I don't know why it's gotten to this way, but it has. And so I'm working on myself and trying to be less affected by it. But it just really it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. So just thought I would mention that, and I thought it was interesting that it tied back to Stoicism, that quote that I had heard just randomly on the internet a bunch of times, and it kind of runs back into Stoicism and what was taught there. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot on the list. I went to church this week, guys. I didn't go to church. I went to an event at a church. The landowner here that we rent from, invited me to go to a men's breakfast at his church, and I attended, looking to do maybe some networking, to make some local contacts here. It was good, decent food, and had some conversations with a couple of folks. And if you followed me at all, you know that church really isn't my thing, and I got a lot of questions about a lot of things, and so it was what it was. It was what it was. I didn't burn up. I didn't walk in and burst into flames, so that was good. I was kind of worried that the man upstairs was just going to strike me down because it's been quite a while since I've walked into a church. But everything went well. Nice people and welcoming and good conversation. And the pastor had an interesting Bible study that I listened to. We'll just leave it at that. But anyway, if you want to do me a favor and check out the links in the video description or the podcast description, if you're going to be doing shopping on Amazon, if you could, I don't know if it's in there right at the moment, but you can head to thelotsproject.com, and there's a big banner there that you can click on to head on over to Amazon. Get me in the affiliated tracking. Make it a little bit over on Amazon is always nice. If you could share the show with someone you know that would be interested in the stuff we're doing, trying to really focus more on talking about the property and things going on in life, and get away from the political bullshit and things like that. So been a couple weeks, and I think we're doing pretty good with that, and I'm happy with that. So if you want to share the show with someone you know, that would be fantastic too. Hit up the YouTube videos and the new series if you're interested in basic learning about solar, or if you know someone that's kind of going down that road, and anything from a little system to build and put in the garage to charge your batteries, charge your work batteries up into a full off-grid solar system build like we're going to be doing. It'll all be in that series. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully Bitcoin keeps rolling up a little bit more today. And you want to get in on that Bitcoin guessing game contest, head over to the Lots chat on Telegram. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic week. You get everything done you need to, and we'll circle back and catch up with you again next Monday.